Okay, so looking at worksheets, that's not it. The worksheet is this 5-4C, but we're going to skip ahead to number 6, 7, and 8. And then we're not even going to do part B. So total number of zeros 3 because the degree is 3. Part C, find the real zeros, round to the nearest thousandth, tenth, hundredth, thousandth, so 3 decimal places, if necessary. Well, if I could factor, I would, but I can't factor that thing. So how do I find zeros if it won't factor, and if I have a calculator?
Wait, you put it to that calculator?
Yeah, let's put it into the calculator. That's a different one. So grab a calculator. You can borrow mine if you need to. Back there. And we'll type this one in for Y1. Check the graph for zeros. How many real zeros do I have? 3. So I got 3 total zeros, and they're all real zeros because they all cross the x-axis. So part C, 3 real zeros. Do you remember how to get the calculator to find those zeros for you?
Calc.
Second calc. And if you make it that far, you can probably get it from there because we're looking for zeros. So pick 0. I wonder if our window is the same. My window is -5 to 5, and standard is -10 to 10, so that might be why we look different.
No, I messed it up.
Second calc 0. Left bound means get to the left of the 0 and press enter. Right bound means get to the right of the 0 and press enter. And then you can just press enter again for the guess. And that's not a nice 0, but I wasn't expecting nice zeros because it told me to round to the nearest thousand. So this is a little different than that worksheet where we were like searching for a nice 0 so that we could synthetic divide and get exact solutions. This is not going to happen on this worksheet. I've got a calculator, so I'm just going to round. -1.773. And then I get to do that 2 more times to find the other zeros. Same process, different answers. That's still not exact unless you knew what the square root number was. Okay, so be careful if y doesn't look like it's 0, but it's probably still 0. All right, part D. Give the x value of the extrema. This includes the absolute extrema, max and min. And then what is the... Okay, so x value... Let's see, it looks like it has 1 max and 1 min. Which button do we usually use to find things on the graph? It's the same button, calc. Second calc. And if I want the max, well then let's go find the max. So second calc max. And it's the same steps as finding a 0. You don't have to know them, it walks you through them. Left bound means get to the left of the max. Enter. Get to the right of the max. Enter. And then you can just hit enter again, or you can go try to get it up close to the max. So there's a max at... And I want to label it because I know there's going to be a min in a moment, so I don't just want to put the x value. The max at x equals -0.786. And then we'll do the same thing for the min. Second calc 0. Whoop, not calc 0. Second calc min. And then it'll walk you through how to get there. Left bound means left of the minimum. Right bound means right of the minimum. And then guess. So there's a minimum at 2.120. Okay, part E says What is the absolute max of the function? So here's a hint. That's a bit of a trick question. What is the absolute max of that function? How high up does it go? Infinity. There is no max because it goes up forever. So we say there is no absolute max because it goes up forever. Absolute min, same thing. It goes down forever. Now, that's a little bit tricky maybe because part D we said, hey, there's a max, there's a min. And then E and F we said there's no max and no min. So what's the difference between part D and then part E and F? Okay, absolute means entire graph. And then a good word that we use in calculus is local maximums and minimums. So in their neighborhood, there's a mountain at that max and a valley at that min. It doesn't mean it's the biggest mountain or smallest valley, but it's a local max or min. All right, part G, domain and range. And it specifically says use interval notation. Nick, how about my domain?
Negative infinity to positive infinity.
Yes. All of them, negative infinity to positive infinity. Joaquin, how about the range? Good. Goes forever up and forever down. And then it wants a graph. So we could use the values that we found. There's some zeros at negative 1.7, at 0.5. Oh, this is going to be kind of squished up here. And 3.25. I suppose I could get some more values from my table. Like 0. Yeah, it's just going to be a sketch, but I could get some easy points to put on there. Negative 1.5. Wait, oh, that's why. I put that 0 at the wrong spot. Yeah, it's just a sketch, but you can use the negative 2, negative 3, the table to get some good points. Negative 3, 2, negative 7. Okay, so now I've got some points in there. Whoops, that's not right. There we go. The sketch is, I'll just say it, the sketch is the least important part of that. Like, that's just copying down points and doing a rough sketch in there. Questions on that? So we hadn't done one quite like that, but it's not really hard. It's just using your calculator a lot. I'm going to press pause on the video, and you try number 7. Back up a second. Any questions on number 7? Yeah, it was an easier one because there was only one real zero. And Cooper's question about finding the other ones is a good one because I don't know how we would do it, but we weren't asked for it. So it's a spot where you could get stuck, but unnecessarily so, because it doesn't ask for all the zeros. It only asks for the real zeros. So back and forth we go. Read carefully on test day. Is it talking about real zeros? Is it talking about total zeros? Does it ask how many? Does it ask what they are? So read carefully and make sure you understand the difference. Okay, so the only assignment for you off of this particular worksheet is number 8. And I think that one has 3 real ones, if I remember right. Back to a hard one, I guess. I know. Okay, there are 2 review worksheets. So we'll just say that, is for number 8, there's only one real zero? Uh-oh. Then that means, let's double check. I don't want to give bad information, especially on the video. Negative x cubed plus x squared plus 2x plus 5. Whoops. Okay, so that is a little different than either of the previous two. 1 real 0, but it's different than number 7 because it does have a local max and local min. So number 8 takes elements of 6 and 7. Okay, I'm glad you caught me on that. All right, the next page is like review part 1, the no calculator review. So make sure you can do that without the calculator. And then the next page is the with calculator review, and so that'll be Tuesday's assignment. These aren't bad, especially today's. Do you remember how to write a polynomial function? Let's skip down to number 3.
Oh, yes.
So it's like going backwards. Like, here's the answer. Let's play Jeopardy. What was the question? So if negative 2 is the answer, what was the x plus 2? And if 3 is the root, what was the factor? X minus 3. And if square root 7 was the root, oh, let's be careful. Yeah, it would be x squared minus 7. You guys are jumping ahead. I was going to go the long way around and say, don't forget negative square root of 7. So x plus root 7 and x minus root 7. And some of you just jump to the fact that that's x squared minus 7. So, intermediate steps that you may or may not need. Have I answered the question? Write a polynomial function in standard form of least degree with integral coefficients. So what do I need to do? Multiply that thing out. Yeah, that's the correct response to that. Well, which two? Right, you can't multiply 3 at a time. You got to pick 2.
Do the first 2.
I think the first 2 is the best bet. I think that's right. It doesn't matter. So if you want to do it another way, that's okay. But I think the first 2 is the best bet. And again, hopefully at this point in your math life, you can FOIL without writing out, the word FOIL, and without writing out all the terms. You can do it quickly. Yes, squared boxes and just FOIL the thing. We don't need all the little helps anymore. And then whatever it takes to multiply a 3 term by a 2 term. Some people draw arrows. I suppose you could set up, it wouldn't be a square, it'd be a box thing. And whatever. I'm just going to multiply x squared by everybody. I mean, I'm making fun of stuff, and then I'm using colors, so, whatever. Then I'll multiply everybody by negative 7. Whatever you need to do to keep up with things when you're multiplying. It's still not quite right. What else do I need to do? Combine like terms. I guess I maybe could have done that on the fly if I was really careful. Not a good idea, though. And it says a polynomial function. That is a function. I would just rather it say f of x equals. So that wasn't terrible. Just what does multiplicity of 2 mean? 2 of the same thing. So what factor would have led to negative 2/3?
2x. 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2.
Yeah, 3x plus 2 twice. Uh-oh.
And then,
Are you guys,
squared
you guys are jumping ahead, which is fine. So again, you can write it out as x plus 2i and x minus 2i. And then know that that's going to land you at x squared plus 4. And then again, multiply, multiply, multiply. Kind of a pain. 5 and 6, those are those kind of puzzle problems. Can you piece together something that fits all of that? Cruising through this one, get everything. In behavior, that's not hard, I don't think. Just read carefully on which end you're at. How are you going to do 11 and 12? State if the given binomial is a factor of the given polynomial. Yeah, I would synthetic divide. Because I don't think you could factor. On 11 and 12, like, you could try to factor, but... So I would synthetic divide with negative 8. Number 11 also has another trick in it. No. Put a negative 8 out there. There's a missing term. It's like minor, but like, yeah, you're going to mess it up if you don't catch that. So fairly easy from there. Oh, it's looking good so far. Nope. Except not.
But that's where it's like f of negative 8, right?
Yes, I'm glad you said that. So let's answer, let's say two things here. The question was, is it a factor? N plus 8, not a factor. But then, like, parenthetical side note from Cooper, that would mean that f of negative 8 equals 8. That is true. It didn't ask that, but we could ask that. That factor, remainder, answer thing, that they all fit together. Okay, so officially today's assignment is the number 8 from the previous worksheet and then this worksheet. Tomorrow's assignment will be the one with calculator. But I leave it up to you. You may want to do some of those now so that you can have questions on it tomorrow, right? Because if you save this worksheet for tomorrow and then have questions on it, we're not going to have time to answer those questions on Wednesday or Thursday because we'll be testing. So you make your choice on when you want to do what so that you get everything done. And maybe it would be a good idea to try some of the Tuesday worksheet tonight just to make sure you're good on things, and then I can answer some questions from it tomorrow.